Friends, as America's best Christian, trademark glory, I've asked you gals from Bringing Integrity to Christian Homemakers to join me for Kona Coffee this morning at one of my many quaint tax-free parsonages for fellowship. Let us pray for continued strength and our ability to overlook the inconvenient. Politicians who like to give us tax breaks, who may also allegedly like to abuse children. This ability to overlook abuse has become central to Republican politics. Just look at Attorney General for now, Pamela Jo Bondi. She was the AG of Florida when Jeffrey Epstein was getting up to no good in that state, but she did not investigate him. Now, in fairness to Pamela Jo, there is no evidence that she took a $25,000 bribe from Epstein to look the other way, as she did with Donald and his university. That $25,000 was an actual Trump Foundation donation to her campaign while her office was weighing action against Trump University. And Pamela Jo is still busy allegedly protecting child abusers. She allegedly had 1,000 FBI agents scrub the Epstein files of inconvenient names, her bosses. But no one is currently protecting someone accused of child abuse as fervently as our fellow Christian nationalist Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. Now, I know some of you have questions about his odd past, which also calls for quite a bit of looking the other way. For example, the curious case of the teenage son who was adopted, but not legally adopted, called Nestor Michael, or that he allegedly shares information about pornography consumption with his teenage son, the one he allows in family photos, the white one. And yes, Mike Johnson, who is allegedly tied to the Paul Pressler School of Law, which was named after a child molester. While some Republicans are almost half-hearted in their enthusiasm for keeping the names of abusers secret, Mike Johnson is willing to shut down the whole government to do it, or refuse to seat elected representatives to avoid a vote on releasing the Epstein files. But he is taking his cue from the person who is allegedly in those files. The Trump administration declared that any move by Congress to release the Epstein files would be considered a hostile act. It's almost as if someone is trying to hide something. And oddly, the need to look the other way may be how Jeffrey Epstein wound up in jail. Word on the street is that Donald Trump allegedly dropped a dime on him, not, as Speaker Johnson ridiculously claimed, because Donald was an FBI informant, thereby placing him at the scene of the crimes. No, it was because Donald and Jeffrey allegedly had a nasty falling out over a piece of South Florida real estate they both wanted. Apparently, Jeffrey Epstein showed the property to Donald to get his advice. Donald liked the property so much he bought it out from under Epstein, ever the loyal friend. Now, this underhanded betrayal angered Epstein, who allegedly threatened to reveal that financially shaky Donald paid for the real estate with money laundered through a Russian oligarch. This threat is said to be why Donald needed to get Epstein out of the way. And speaking of getting Epstein out of the way, the need to look the other way, even if involuntary, may have been the reason for his death in prison. The death that happened when the guards were missing and the cameras weren't working. They were looking the other way too. Now, some of you may be wondering, how did we get to the point where conservative Christians are willing to overlook child abuse in exchange for tax breaks? But looking the other way when children are being abused